Hello everybody, this is English for You, the program that helps you improve your English. A very warm welcome. In the studio I have my Faseka students. Victoria, how are you doing?
Fine, thank you.
Martin, how's it hanging?
Everything's okay.
Good. Anna, what's up?
Oh, everything's fine.
Great. Peter, how are you doing?
Fine, thanks.
Great. Today's special guest is Mr. Tom Walk, and the first question is very demanding. What do you think he is? I mean, looking at this guy, what do you think he is? 1, 2, 3.
Musician.
A musician. Very good. Thank you for joining us, Tom.
Thank you for asking me here.
Good. But you see, being a musician, what kind of musician?
A
See?
guitarist.
A guitarist. Can we get closer to this? Or can we specify what kind of music do you think he plays?
Country music.
Blues.
Country music, blues. Huh, see? Excellent. So would you just stand up first and just introduce your fantastic gear from top to bottom?
Yeah, well, of course, first of all, the guitar, an acoustic guitar, right? It's very important for a country musician. And then we, of course, have my Stetson hat, Texas hat. Sometimes they call it a 10-gallon hat. And then we have, of course, a vest. Cowboy always wears a vest. And my buckle here.
Right. Sorry to interrupt you. But what
Oh,
about
I'm
this?
sorry.
What would you call that?
I can see that. This is a cowboy tie right here. This is a special tie that all the cowboys wear. And I couldn't see it, but it's there. And so then we have a cowboy belt buckle. Of course, this is a leather buckle, so it doesn't scratch the back of my guitar. No? Very practical cowboy here.
Very clever.
And then, of course, blue jeans is specific. Always cowboys wear blue jeans. And last but not least, of course, I've got my my cowboy boots.
What are they? What would you
Well,
call
on
them?
there, you can't see that, but that's actually that's an Indian nickel, 5-cent piece from the United States. Oh, 5-cent piece. It has a buffalo on one of them, and on the other one it has an Indian head.
Ooh,
So that's quite old little decoration there.
thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. And would you sit down, please?
Thank you.
And we have chosen this map. Are you happy with this, or we should have chosen another
No,
one?
that's the heart of country music right there. You've got it. Country music, blues, that's all where it came from, right out of there.
Right there, and we can see the Appalachian Mountains over here. Beautiful. And Tennessee, Nashville, Tennessee.
Nashville is
The very heart of
very
country,
heart of country music.
country
yes.
music. Are you a hillbilly boy?
Some people say I'm a hillbilly when they hear me talk because of my
Because I
accent.
checked the dictionary, and it said that hillbilly is a sort of derogatory, humorous use, and it refers to an uneducated person from the mountain area, especially from the Appalachian Mountains. So
Yes.
it's not very nice to call someone a hillbilly boy, or it's not so?
I would say possibly people wouldn't like to be called a hillbilly. Not so much.
So guys, be very careful when using the word hillbilly.
Yeah.
Right. As we have learned, Tom is a musician, sort of Western, and you mentioned blues. But are you really familiar with these terms, or we just use these terms? Hey, we have bluegrass, blues, rockabilly, and country Western style. Now, I'm going to ask Tom to play each, but not in the order you can see them, in a different order. And after each piece, we're going to stop and we're going to ask you. All right, so
Okay.
maestro.
Me and my woman, we get along one day at a time. I said, now me and my woman, we get along just one day at a time. One day we're fussing and fighting, and the next day we're doing fine.
Wow, thank you very much. And if you have an idea, would you just say, if you're absolutely sure, would you put up your hands? All right, Victoria, try your
No,
luck.
actually, I don't know what bluegrass and rockabilly mean. So So it's quite hard to choose now. I'm completely confused.
No idea? Okay, try your luck. Say one.
Blues.
Very good.
Very good.
Right on the
Excellent.
nose.
Right. What are the characteristic features of blues?
Blues, well, blues was around the turn of the century when they actually started, and originally Delta blues, about in the 1930s, was played with guitar and harmonica. Usually the lyrics are very melancholy, woeful about your problems, or that's why sometimes they say the color blue means that I'm sad.
I'm very sad. Thank you very much. Choose one. Choose another one.
Okay.
But don't say what it is.
Yeah,
Just
I
play.
didn't Okay, here we go. Let's see. Well, I wandered so aimless, life filled with sin. Well, I wouldn't let that dear Savior in. Then Jesus came like a stranger in the night. Praise the Lord, I saw the light. I saw the light, I saw the light. No more darkness, no more night. Now I'm so happy, no sorrow inside. Praise the Lord, I saw the light.
Woo!
Smoking.
Martin?
Well, I would go for country and western, but I'm absolutely not sure.
Anna?
Rockabilly.
Rockabilly? Tom?
Okay, well, actually, this is a bluegrass song, a traditional bluegrass song.
And the
But,
characteristic features are?
Well, the characteristic features were a little bit hard to give because, first of all, bluegrass contains a 5-string banjo, which was around in the 1940s, excuse me. Lester Flatt, Earl Scruggs started playing this type of music with a group called the Bluegrass Boys. And the 5-string banjo is much different than the banjo the jazz players play, are usually 4 strings. Also a mandolin, and it's all acoustic music, and 3-part harmonies. So it's hard for me to do 3-part harmonies because I'm alone.
I can see that. All right,
And,
thank you very much.
okay.
And you can choose another one, and your task is getting easier because now you have just 2 things to choose
Just
from.
2 to go. Okay,
right.
let's see here. Well, you can shake an apple from an apple tree. Shake it, baby, but you can't shake me. Oh, yes, indeed. Oh, yeah. I'm gonna stick like glue. Stick, 'cause I'm stuck on you.
Right. Anna or Peter,
Let's say rockabilly, I think.
you agree? It must be
Yeah.
It's
rockabilly.
rockabilly, that's
Right.
right.
Very short.
Rockabilly was a very pure form of a mixture of country and western and blues, or rhythm and blues. And it was around the 1950s that it came
50s.
about.
Right. Elvis Presley. Right.
Previous to rock and roll.
Right. Okay, and the last one, please. Well, which is quite obvious.
I got a tiger by the tail, it's plain to see. Well, I won't be much when you get through with me. I'm a feeling sick and looking kind of pale. It's plain to see I got a tiger by the tail.
Thank you very much. I think we should clap a little. Thank you very much. Do sit down,
Thank you,
please.
sir.
And obviously that was Western, country Western. Now we're going to have a picture on the projector, and I would like you, Martin, to try and describe what you can see in the picture.
I can see a man, and I think this man is a hippie.
How do you know?
Because it has the features what is the stereotype of a hippie, because he's holding a flower, he has got long hair, shoulder length hair, and
What about the clothes?
he's wearing clothes which are designed
Tattered and torn, patches all over, right? Good. Thank you very much. Can you connect this hippie to a movement? Can you give us a date? In the
60s.
60s, end of 60s, beginning of 60s?
I don't know.
Well, basically, end of 60s. And Tom used to be a hippie. He had a very nice, and still he has a very nice family background. Still, he left his family and he became the black sheep of the family?
Yes, the black sheep of the family.
Black sheep. So what happened?
Well, this was back in, let's see, about 1969, 1970. And I left for California after completing high school. I started to travel looking for what you would call an alternative lifestyle. And,
To put it nicely.
Yeah, that's a nice way to put it. And so I got involved in the hippie movement, traveling through California, playing music, involving myself a bit in drugs as well, and grew my hair long, wore bell bottoms. The pants were called bell bottoms. Now they're coming back, by the way, I see now.
Right,
Huh?
right.
And I got involved in that.
Right, and it was the time when there was the Vietnam War on, if I
Yes.
remember well. And this is my next question. You're going to see a picture over here, and I would like you, Victoria, to
Hair.
you're absolutely right. So
Amazing.
what's happening here?
You mean the story? It's
No,
that
just a picture.
Okay, so he's standing in front. A man is standing in front of a panel. They look like a jury or whatever, and they
Let me
are.
help you. I love you for this. Let me help you. This is a draft, or American English, draft board, a committee which decides who to draft, right?
That's right.
Right. And I think at one time you were standing in front of a draft board.
Yes, I was.
And this is my question. What would you do, or what would your first ideas be if you were drafted and, let's say, there's a war on? Peter, the
Well,
first ideas.
I think I don't have a chance to not to go. So my first idea would be about the war, if it's worth doing, what are the reasons of the war, and my family, of course, that I have to leave them to go there. But I think I would.
You have no choice. You
Yes,
wouldn't have.
I wouldn't try to escape.
Martin,
Well, if
the
if I
other
had a
male in the
choice-
group. So.
If I had the choice, I wouldn't join the army because I think I won't be able to kill anyone, and in the war this is the only thing what a man can do.
So you'd rather not.
Yes.
Right. I have a little song for you. So
Okay.
can I borrow the guitar? I hope I can make it. So I'm very good at visualizing little things like situations like this, and I can imagine you standing in front of the draft board and singing. My name is Thomas Walk. I'm so nervous I can hardly talk. I heard that the climate over there is pretty hot. My answer is I'd rather not. I heard that the climate over there is pretty hot. My answer is I'd rather not. So was it like this?
It was like that, yes. Actually, I was traveling around the country and didn't think too much about being drafted, but I got some papers in the mail when I was returning home, and it did say I was drafted. I was supposed to report to the military. And in that situation, it kind of crystallized in my consciousness a reality that I could not, as Martin also said, I believe, that I couldn't go to what I thought was an unjust war, and also because of my beliefs, I didn't think I could go and kill someone. So I had to go before a draft board and state my case in order to get a deferment to be a conscientious objector.
Sorry to interrupt you, but thank you very much for the guitar. But we have these two words here, conscientious objector and draft dodger. What's the difference, if any?
Well, draft dodger is when you try to dodge the draft. In other words, you leave the country, you hide out. Whereas a conscientious objector, you face the music, so to speak.
Bite the bullet.
Yeah, you bite the bullet. You go before the draft board, and you apply for another status. So I was applying for a conscientious objector status.
Right. Thank you very much. I have this word, and I wonder if you can help me. Freak. What does that mean? Victoria?
someone strange who couldn't fit into society.
It could be, or I think the original meaning is a living creature with unnatural form, with a very strange form. That's a freak. But also there are film freaks. What's a film freak?
Well, a freak in American slang is whenever you like anything in particular, you're very
Keen on doing
keen on it, crazy about it. You really want to do that. So they can call you a film freak.
Right. And what about the Jesus freaks? You
Well,
mentioned when we talked a couple of days ago. You mentioned Jesus freaks. What are they? What were they?
Well, when I applied for my conscientious objector, I did get the conscientious objector, and I ended up working in a job in California, which was a drug information center, trying to help other people with that were taking drugs there. But at that time, I also myself, I was into drugs, and I was kind of searching. And at that time, I met some Christians. I would call them primitive Christians because they didn't have church buildings. They lived in a communal situation. And the slang for these Christians was Jesus freaks. They were also hippies, long hair, love beads, the blue jeans, but their beliefs were based in the Bible. And they talked to me, and at first I argued with them because I was very analytical, and I argued with him, but it did touch a chord in my heart, and I started to read the Bible, and I became what they call a Jesus freak.
Good. And we have this leaflet here, or flyer, family country music, and at the back of this flyer we can see this picture. You're in Romania. This is you.
That's Tom.
Your wife.
My wife,
right?
Marta.
And what were you doing in Romania?
Well, after I joined this movement, the Jesus movement, or Jesus freak movement, I traveled all around the world, China, South America. My travels, I started doing different types of humanitarian work, working with street children, and music, well, young people, all kind of different works. But music was always a part of it because with music you can give a message, you can convey your feelings, you can express yourself much, much better than you can sometimes in words. So music was always a part of this, the programs that we would do.
Tom, look at this. We can see Tom where? In prison. This is Tom.
Actually, I'm just visiting.
So
I legally got out of the draft.
So you have already performed at very, very weird places, like in prisons. Also, you go to hospitals.
Hospitals, orphanages, refugee camps.
To cheer up people.
To try to cheer up people, try to give them some hope.
That's really nice. And we're going to listen to a song by Tom Walk. So he's the author of the song. And it's going to be about the evolution theory, and you're going to see the picture of a person. No, we're going to skip that. Right. You're going to find a handout in your desk, and listen to Tom. And Victoria, the first verse is yours, the second is yours, Martin, sorry. Then Anna, and number 4 is yours, Peter. 3 words are missing in each verse, and I would like you to fill in the gaps. All right, so would you?
Well, they say about 60 billion years ago, a little fishy changed to a tadpole, sprouted legs and grew some hands, then it crawled out on the land, changed from reptile to a monkey, then a man. Today I took a Bible to my school, but the teacher said that was against the rules. She said my grandpa's a gorilla, my dad's a chimpanzee, and my little baby brother's a baboon. Did Charlie make a monkey out of you? Do you think you should be living in a zoo? Don't you know that it's a lie? When it comes your turn to die, you'll find out you're not a monkey but a fool. Well, I heard some far-fetched stories in my day, but the one about the monkey, it takes the cake. Well, I'm a-looking in the mirror, just a-checking out my rear, but I can't find a tail growing any place. Did Charlie make a monkey out of you? Do you think you should be living in a zoo? Don't you know that it's a lie? When it comes your turn to die, you'll find out you're not a monkey but a fool. Well, I stood up to the teacher and I told the class, I can't swallow this baloney about our past. Evolution really stinks. There's too many missing links. To believe all this is just too much to ask. Did Charlie make a monkey out of you? Do you think you should be living in a zoo? Well, don't you know that it's a lie? When it comes your turn to die, you'll find out you're not a monkey but a fool. Don't let Charlie make a monkey out of you.
Excellent, thank you very much. Obviously, Charlie refers to who?
Charles Darwin.
Say it again, Peter.
Charles Darwin.
Charles Darwin. We're going to talk about that, but first, I would like to have the first verse on the projector, and I wonder, Victoria, if you could catch all three words that were missing.
I don't know the first.
Okay, what was the second?
The second was reptile, and the third was moggy. Moggy than a
Monkey, I would say.
Okay.
So it's going to come up pretty soon. And the first was, right, a tadpole, which is a creature with a long tail, and it's going to turn to a frog.
Yeah, it's the baby frog.
Baby frog in
Before it
Hungarian.
turns-
Abihail. Thank you very much. Obviously, everybody knows what a reptile is and a monkey. Right. Now, the second verse is yours, Martin. Would you say the three
first
words?
was a gorilla, then a chimpanzee, and then a baboon.
Right, gorilla, chimpanzee, and baboon. Excellent. It's going to come up pretty soon. And that was the, you can't take the Bible to school.
Yes. It's in the United States, it's a law. You can have classrooms for special activities. You can have anything you want, but they won't let you have anything Christian, anything religious.
In a public school.
In a public school.
Not in a religious school, but in a public school.
Yeah,
Right.
in a public school, they won't let you have any type of religious class in the public school. The separation of state and religion is so strong.
Thank you. Anna?
Well, I'm in deep trouble, but the first is firing or
Far-fetched stories.
Far-fetched.
A far-fetched story is a story that is, it's very difficult, unlikely story, very difficult to believe. And the second one,
also
checking out my rear, my back,
Yes.
but I can't find a
Tail.
tail growing any place. Right, thank you very much. And Peter, the last one,
There was baloney. I don't know.
baloney.
Baloney.
Right, here we go, baloney, meaning, Tom?
Bologna is, it's actually what is it here? It's a lunch meat, but like pick,
Felvágott,
like
parizer, felvágott, baloney. But the meaning is some nonsense.
Yeah.
Nonsense.
in American that you're full of bologna, they say.
Yeah.
So
The next one,
Stings
stinks,
and links.
stinks and links. Right. So Tom doesn't really believe in evolution, but could you? Well, I don't think we have enough time to argue about this because we're going to learn the chorus. But could you just come up with one idea why why you think evolution is a real thing? It's not just a baloney. Peter.
Well, we can see that there are species of animals which are changing if they get to different places. So, for example, the fish who lives in a cave has smaller eyes, or an elephant in India is not similar to an elephant in Africa, I think.
I think we should.
you mean mutations?
Right.
Yes, they
Because
are
they're
changing.
mutations.
Yes.
I think I'm gonna invite you for another show, Tom. We're gonna talk about the evolution because I think that would need another 26 minutes, right? So it's so interesting. So we're gonna have another show about this.
Okay.
Now this time I would like you to sing the song. After each verse, would you add the chorus? And let's join in. Try and join in. All right. So. If we run out of time, just see you next week. But we're gonna sing the song and we're gonna have a great time here, right? So we just start the first verse and we're gonna join in if we can with the chorus, right?
Okay. Well, say about 60 billion years ago,
A little fishy changed to a tadpole, sprouted legs and grew some hands, and it crawled out on the land, changed from reptile to a monkey, then a man. Did Charlie make a monkey out of you? Do you think you should be living in a zoo? Don't you know that it's a lie? When it comes your turn to die, you'll find out you're not a monkey but a fool. Well, I've heard some far-fetched stories in my day, but the one about the monkey takes the cake. I'm a-looking in the mirror, just a-checking out my rear.